Being in the outdoors can do so much good for your health. It can improve your focus and relieve your stress, just to name a few. A day spent outdoors or in nature is a day well spent. Hi, I'm Billie Jean and welcome to House and Home in 2020. I love spending time outdoors doing activities such as gardening, swimming, and hiking. They somehow boost the level of my energy and make me feel alive. If you're a person that loves spending time indoors, some little time spent outdoors can do so much good for you. And even so, as the year begins, it is a great way to rejuvenate your soul. So on this episode, we bring to you some tips and ideas on everything you can do outdoors. So first up, let's join IKEA on Out and About.
That feel good!
The weekend is the perfect time to do more outdoor activities with your friends and family. In doing this, you free your mind and spirit from work, school, or whatever that's been stressing you out over the weekend. And this has got to be one of my favorite spots to do exactly that. Welcome to Out and About. I'm here at Tutu Beach Retreat in Tauranga, Port Moresby, which is a 20-minute drive outside of the city. Let's go take a look inside.
It's located further in Tauranga, or what locals like to call it, end of the world.
The retreat has held up to 300 people at one time, and it's no wonder people keep coming back here. I mean, they've got services like the outdoor kitchen that does catering as well for up to 250 people, the barbecue, the house win, the new refurbished playground, a deck out here, and a huge deck with the bar to enjoy up there. And of course, the greenery and the ocean. It honestly does not get any better than this.
The refurbished Tutu Beach Retreat opens every weekend from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. and has welcomed families, corporate guests, and individuals over the years, their busiest time being the Easter holiday and the Christmas season. This place is perfect for birthdays, family gatherings, wedding receptions, you name it. They offer kayaks, boat trips, an outdoor kitchen and catering, an outdoor barbecue, and heaps more. You can expect more from this place as they plan to expand the retreat in the near future.
Being outdoors is also a great time to exercise. Kayaking helps you lose weight and most importantly, have fun. And they've got some kayaks here as well. So the next time you're thinking about taking your family or friends outdoors, make sure to come out here to Tutu Beach Retreat. And don't worry, there's more of this place in the coming episode. I'm heading over to the kitchen because after the break, they've got a delicious meal for you to enjoy outdoors. If you've just joined us, you're watching House and Home, and I'm still out here at Tutu Beach Retreat. I've got Gamu with me here. Gamu, what is under this cloth?
It's a mangrove jack.
And you told me that you caught this last night, and where and how are you going to prepare this?
It's already been gutted. I'm gonna clean it up again and then bake it in the oven.
So he's going to bake this for just 15 minutes in their outdoor kitchen, which is what they usually do here for your
Special guests.
Special guests. So we're feeling kind of special today, my team and I. Okay.
Right.
So Gamu works here. He's not actually the head chef, but he's a king fisherman as well. So he knows his fish. He's got some carrots, ginger, and spring onion to go into this fish.
Yep.
Yep. And then he's gonna pop this in the oven for just 15 minutes. Okay, so why is it important to do this?
Just to because it's baking. Mustn't stay too long. Because the margarine, when it melts, keeps the meat together to make it tender.
So you're gonna add all of this in here, and
I'm
then
gonna
put the pasted
coat it with butter and then add all the little ingredients.
So simple yet very delicious. So every seafood meal that's cooked in the kitchen is caught out there. Obviously it was too small, so we had to join two. Double it up, yes. So in goes the margarine. Okay, so he's put margarine on both sides of the fish. So now he's just gonna add all of these ingredients in between.
Yep.
So we're putting the ginger inside here. Oh, all these colors just look amazing with the red.
Red.
So prepping's all done. We're gonna wrap this up, yes?
Yep.
And then take it over to the oven in the kitchen.
Okay, now it's gonna go in the oven for 15 minutes. Okay, the heat here in the oven is 420 degrees. Okay, it's gonna stay for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, we'll come back and check.
Oh, thank you so much, Gamu and the guys in the kitchen. Well, the fish is finally ready. They even brought some chips out for my crew and I. And Billy's here as well. So, Gamu, if you can have the honors. That smells amazing. Oh, look at that, Billy. Can you just smell the ginger as soon as he opens it up? And the steam. Oh.
Oh, goodness. This is beautiful.
Cooked to perfection, mate. So good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gamu.
Try, give it a try.
Nothing beats that. All right, well, that's all for our cooking segment this week on House and Home. Stay watching because next we've got Gazella with a color story.
My name is Gazella Bruda. I am extremely old and I'm from, I'm mixed parentage of Tolai and Mikeo and Wabada. Yeah, I graduated from what was the National Art School, became the Faculty of Creative Arts under UPNG 21 years ago.
Right.
And I've been a professional artist ever since. And it's the only life I know. I like to get my hands dirty. Different artists have different ways of how they feel truly expresses themselves. And what I'm doing in adding texture to my canvas, this is what I call adding texture. I can use this. If I have sand, I will use sand. I will use anything, buttons. I like recycling material. Nothing is wasted. I like to add it. If I could, I would stick a couple of mobile phones onto it. You know, and I use glass, I use mirrors, I crush things. I just like that. I like having texture.
So what kind of artist are you and what are you specialized in?
For me, I'm a fine artist. I'm actually a printmaker. Printmaking is a different method again, comes to art. The printing of newspapers, typesetting, and all these are derived from printmaking. They're part of printmaking, like screen printing. That's a method that derives from printmaking. And printmaking is all about getting an image off a plate using a special roller or a press to press an image onto paper. And it's a very traditional method. I'm specialized in it. I'm one of the only specialized printmakers. In art school, when you took fine arts, a fine artist generally would be someone who can do sculpting, painting, and printmaking. So that's it. And we're very, like anyone is an artist. And for us who came through the art school, we're very specific with what we, the qualifications that we got from it. you know, and we also were trained in the history of art and understanding all the different techniques and methods that come with the area of art.
So what are the challenges that you face in your work?
I think gender comes into play here. I take offense if somebody defines my space as gender, like I always say genderizes my role, like, oh, you know, oh, she's a woman, she can do this, because it has nothing to do with my sexuality or my gender. You have a talent and you're a human being and you have an opportunity to use a platform to say something, to contribute to a discussion. And I think one of the things that I've had to work really hard to overcome and to be able to find my place in is as an artist as a contemporary fine artist in Papua New Guinea. The challenges that have come with it, or when people would compliment me, like, oh, you fit Mary, you not paint also man. Oh, that's actually something that really, you know, I don't like that, because I'm as capable, I'm as able as a man. I can draw. True. I can draw as well as any man. And it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm a woman. It has to do that we all have these talents, and it's how we use it and how we progress with our talents. And that's the thing. That's, I think, like any role in Papua New Guinea, you know, you always have to go against the grain in having to try and make a point and make yourself stand out, because automatically people define, you know, they have this division of labor. They start defining what role is masculine and what role is feminine. And that's something that I think in the 21 years that I've been doing this, I've found my space. And a lot of the artists who know me very well, and I'm really good friends with most of them, they know that with me it has nothing to do with you man or you Mary. It has to do with how hardworking are you, how creative, how original, you know.
I know you're a mom, so how do you handle both being a mother and work?
I always say, how do my kids handle it?
Yeah.
You know, like I always find that my kids have to find a way to manage with me, my schedule. I've been a mom straight out of university. When I started my professional career, my first exhibition was when my daughter, my firstborn, she's 21 now, she was 5 months old, 6 months old when I had my first professional exhibition with Jane Werner, Winnie Weowa, Angie Bessiaro, Julie Mota. You know, there was this small group of us women artists, and we had our first exhibition, and my daughter was just a baby, and she's literally just, so this is normal for them. This is our normal. Yeah, so it's normal if we go shopping and I spend most of the money on art material, and they know they have to share it with me. So it's something we've managed. We found a way. But becoming a mother was very, very was the defining moment in my career as an artist, because having to be a mother, the experiences I've had as a human being, as a woman, have really had a major impact. They are the biggest impact on my life as an artist, and in my career.
Of course they would be.
Yeah. The sacrifices that come from it, and opportunities that you give up because you have to stay home. We all go through the same motions. And I think with being an artist, you're self-employed. You're basically self-employed. So in the market in PNG, there's only so much you can sell. There's only many people who can afford to pay for your painting at what it deserves to be paid for. And so half the time you're having to make allowances to allow people to get your art for less than what you know it's valued at. And so it plays a big role in the way art is marketed and valued in Papua New Guinea.
So what is the most rewarding thing out of the work that you do?
In having to be a graphic designer, you understand as a customer, their input and how their satisfaction is extremely important to the value of your work and and how it's appreciated. And so one thing I love about doing the work I do is when I'm done with it, somebody can come and say, oh, it's not done, maybe you should add this or that. But when I feel it's done, it's done. But I do commission work, and commission work, it requires being able to capture what the person is commissioning you to do, you know. And like when I do portraits especially, because this is something, if they want something that's hyper-realism, having to create it. I can go as far as telling them, okay, I can do it on canvas, I can do it, what material would you like me to do this on, and having to show them the progress of my work and being open to critique.
So Gazella, please give us some word of encouragement, well, for the young artists out there, or in general, the whole artists.
If you have passion for something, don't quit. You keep doing it. Sometimes people change their interests, you know, based on the market or based on how other people perceive it. But if you can find it in yourself to appreciate yourself and how unique you are, and that what you say has a place, and it's necessary and it's wanted. And if you can build that confidence within yourself without having to worry what everybody else has to say about you. That's the thing. A lot of people are so worried about what people have to say about your creativity that it limits you.
As I have mentioned earlier, one of my favorite activities to do outdoors is gardening. I love just touching soil, weeding and transplanting and all that. So for this gardening bit, I have a dear friend of mine who is going to share on how he takes care of his plants.
Hello, my name is Jacob. I come from Central Province. I come from Hula in the Central Province. And I work with Scripture Union. Scripture Union is a faith-based organization. We do camps for high school and primary school students, and there are other events that we run for school students over the holidays as well. I love flowers, and I like to collect plants of all kinds when I'm in the shop or in the markets. So I like to go, when we go shopping, I like to go to the sections where, especially at shops here in Moresby, where they sell, mothers sell plants and flowers. So I go buy plants from there and then bring them home, transfer them into pots. And when I see that they need, and then when they have new shoots, I transfer them into more pots. Yeah, so that's basically what I do. So I've been asking the mothers that sell flowers on the streets what they do, to make their flowers healthy and all that. So I used to use potato peels and banana peels, mix it with the black soil, and plant my flowers. So, but I've been told that rain tree leaves are really good fertilizer for the flowers. So I collect rain tree leaves. I have a big rain tree here, and collect the leaves, put them in plastic bags, and I mix it up with the soil. And that's how I plant my flowers. Yes. The plants need a lot of water as well, and I have big drums in my house where I collect rainwater, and I also water left off from the laundry, and I use that to keep the soil moist so the plants grow healthy. And and also keep the plants in a shady area. In Moresby, the sun's really hot, and some of my plants, the leaves go dry very quickly. So I keep them in the shade. As a lot of times you keep them in the shade so the sun doesn't burn the leaves. The job that I do is like we always go out, and sometimes there's a lot of things that are on your mind. And on the weekends, that's where I kind of relax. Or in the afternoons after work, when I'm feeling tired or want to relax, and I turn around, do some clean around the flower beds with the grass. And yes, so I always tend to. My wife complains a lot of times. I spend more time with the flowers than her. So. I really need to learn the names of the plants. I don't really know the names of the plants. I've tried going into YouTube and checking on some plants. I've got mainly leafy plants, not so much of flowery plants. Yeah. So, yes, basically, but I really need to learn how to the names of the plants. Yeah, well, I get a lot of positive feedbacks from people who visit us, even students or some of our volunteers, or when we have visitors who come around, they see the place and it looks really colorful and it's really green, so they admire the place. And it kind of pushes me to continue looking after the plants and nurturing them and all that. It also, like people who live around here, it's a good place. It gives us fresh air, and we know that we're right next to the road, and there's a lot of cars go by. You can hear the noise of the vehicles there. And the plants kind of give a good fresh air from the ones that the vehicles give off. I think I've got some good collection, and I usually go around where. On the roadsides where people sell flowers, and then I see if whatever I don't have, I try to buy that. And I've seen that I've got some good collections here, because a few of my friends come and I also give them flowers, and a lot of people who, especially mothers who walk by and then they admire the flowers and they said, I want this, so I give them flowers here. So I give them cutaways, and also Billie Jean from MTV gets flowers from me. I think the black soil is really good for plants, and sometimes when I use other soil, sometimes the soil can be clay, and plants won't really grow well. So I try to use black soil a lot of times when I'm planting, and mix it up with some like when you buy food from the market, like cacao, potatoes, bananas, and you get the peels. I have a bucket where I keep all my peels and mix it with the soil every now and then. So then when I'm planting, I use some of those compost as fertilizer to mix with the soil. Yeah, I think too much sun can dry up the soil quickly. Sometimes when I don't water the plants for a week, you see that the pot, the soil in the pot is very dry, and then the plants tend to die or wither, and then so it's good to keep the they need a bit of sunlight, but also should have like a shade over them, just to so the heat in Moresby is too much for the plants. So it's good to have a garden in your yard, or have a collection of plants and flowers, because after a hard day's work, it would be good to relax in your garden, have some fresh air from all the trouble or the pressures of the day, and it's a good place to relax and have fresh thoughts, prepare yourself for what's ahead for the next day.
more effort you put into your yard, the more beautiful it looks. So for this home decor segment, Billy is going to be making a tea light to make the evening set magical.
Well, as IKEA has mentioned, for this home decor DIY, I will be doing a simple tea light for an outdoor garden or flower garden that you have to make your evenings look beautiful and magical. So it's very simple. As you can see, I am in the outdoors and it's beautiful. The breeze is blowing. The sun is not that hot. So this is perfect. Now what you will need for this project, you will need some glass bottles. Now you can use mason jars if you have them, but I have this tomato paste bottles which I am recycling, and you will need some twine. Well, I have some paints because I want to spice this up and paint the other bottles. And I also have some small tea light candles and fairy lights as well. Now this is very optional. If you want to use fairy lights or tea lights, that's all up to you. So yeah, and I have this little brush here, a paint roller. So I'm going to use it to paint my bottles, and that is all you need. So let's get started. So first up, I will decorate this one, this tall bottle. So what I will need to do is just get some twine and some glue. So this is just to make sure that the twine doesn't come off or fall off the glass. It will hold the twine, just to make sure. So there we go. And then you can just use your twines like this and just go around the bottle like that. So there are different kinds of twines. They have the thick ones, the very thin ones, and then you have just the right ones like this one I have here. This is craft glue, by the way. If you want to use glue gun, that's up to you too. Ooh, girl. That is it. I'll cut it here. And then just make sure it's all tight and nice so it doesn't come off, doesn't fall off. There you go. And then I'll just cut off this one. Yep, that's it. And then I'm going to do one at the bottom. So again, just go use the glue. Then use your twine again. So there we go. So I have this here, and now my second bottle. Now the second bottle, I will just use paint. So that color, and also this one. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to use these two colors. You can do whatever style that you want. This is just an idea. And again, you don't have to follow me. You can do whatever style that you want. And this is your next until I jar. See? Very simple. And now we'll do the last one. Now the last one, I'm just gonna put glue and glitters on it. So you can pretty much do whatever shapes or design that you want. I will just do hearts on this. The jar of hearts. Okay, let's go. And that is it. Now what we have to do is pour the glitter onto the glass. Now just blow out the excess glitters that are on the bottle. And that's it. And like I said, that's my idea and that's my style, but you can just take it to a whole new level and just add your own spice and taste to it. So after you're done, you can put the fairy lights. Well, they look like this, and these are the battery. These are the battery fairy lights, so you can just drop it in the bottle. Just drop it in, again with the batteries. Just light them up and then place them, if you have a bench or if you have like a shelf that you put your pot plants and flower pots. So just put them in between the flowers and it will look magical and it will look gorgeous. So that is all that I have for you for this segment of Home Decor's DIY.
Okay, my name is Jambi Garap. I'm currently just recently joined the university as lecturer in ophthalmology with the ophthalmology postgraduate program and also undergraduate rotation of students into ophthalmology. I'm also the president of the National Prevention of Blindness Committee. That's an advocacy body for all the eye care, stakeholders in the country. Yes, maybe I can start from things that might be bad for us inside the house where people live. I mean, the first thing that parents should do is to make sure that the lime containers have a lid on and they're not leaving it lying around where kids are. Or you're talking about outdoors, and outdoors there's a lot of things that can injure an eye, and especially talking about children mainly when they're playing around. When it's mango season, they throw rocks and stones up there, and the kids nowadays I see them play the game with hitting of rubber tongs. And they're playing with sticks, and that can land in the eyes. I think our parents out there need to consider just watch what the kids are playing with and try to control them, and that sort of game is quite it's dangerous for their children. Wearing of protective wear when you're outside, and if you're working long hours, a cap or a hat is a good thing to use. And if the sun is too bright, a woman with a child might be using an umbrella to protect themselves from the sun, and getting a pair of sunglasses. A lot of people think that glasses spoil your eye, whereas you really need to protect your eyes from the UV radiation, because UV radiation can damage the back of your eye, can firstly cause cataracts, and the growth on your eye. A lot of women and men in places where it's really hot have a growth over the eye, over the cornea, which is known as a pterygium. And that growth can only be removed if it blocks the pupil. Then it can only be removed by surgery. So if you wear sunglasses, it will stop the growth from getting bigger. And prevention is better than, cure, they say so. They are some of the things that they can do. For injury-wise, I mean, if you're, once again, Lyme, nowadays it's in a windy place and a person is chewing betel nut and not careful about their Lyme pot, it can spill into somebody's eyes and cause injury. These are the negative things that can happen outdoors, but also it's also good for our children to play outside. In the rest of the world now, especially in China and in all the developed world, there's an epidemic of children being short-sighted. Most of the work is inside. They're now on the computers, on the iPhones and all that, and not giving enough exercise to the eyes. Our eyes, the children, as they grow, the eyes then grow with the child, and with a lot of exercise outside, it'll help the eye to develop well and achieve the normal vision, or the 6-on-6 vision that we talk about. So we all need to, the children need to go out and play outside and focus on things in the horizon or in the distance, so that they're able to exercise their eyes to develop fully. The common things that cause eye problems for our people is, our people mainly are farmers. They work in the gardens, and so they can have eye injuries, vegetative injuries. So if they're cleaning in the ground, or a dirt or a piece of leaf, can scratch their eyes and things like that. They have vegetative injuries. Also, people working in the oil palm provinces, they have, they cut the fruit, and sometimes those sort of fruit can injure their eye. The rubbish, the dust, or even the fruit falls on their eye. So they're the sort of injuries that can happen. Domestic violence is another big thing that a lot of our women face. Domestic violence also, kids playing around with sticks and stones, and they play around like they play war games and things like that. That can also spoil their eyes as well. For eye diseases, our study of rapid assessment of avoidable blindness, which came out in 2017, showed that we have a lot of people who are blind from cataract and from the need to wear glasses. Yeah, all the doctors in all the clinics and hospitals should have a vision chart to check a person's eye. It can either be the 6-meter chart or the 3-meter chart. So please have an eye check. If your child is about to enter into school at 5 years of age or at 7 years of age, have an eye check for the child. And for adults or for students entering into year 7 and 8, they should have another eye check there. And then people going into year 11 and 12, and also into universities. Some of the institutions have forms where they fill in for their students entering into their institutions, but most people don't. And I think all of us should take our eye health into own our own eye health and be able to go for an eye check. For people who are turning 40 years of age, if they have had normal vision all their lives, they will find that their reading is going to be bad, and they need then to wear reading glasses. So it's normal, it's a normal physiological change. It's not because you've been working on the computer for long hours. It's just how our eye is. We need to have our eyes tested and wear reading glasses. It'll help us. And then if you are 50, 55 years of age and your vision is getting cloudy and things like that, you need to have an eye test. For an eye check, if you're in Manus, there's an eye clinic. There's a trained ophthalmic clinician in Manus, so you can have your eye checked there in Manus General Hospital. In Kavieng, Namatanai, in Rabaul, Nonga Base Hospital, Nonga General Hospital, I'm sorry, and at the Kokopo, Vunapope, what do they call it, St. Mary's Hospital. In Leh, Enga Hospital, all around we work, and in East Sepik and West Sepik, they've got eye nurses there. There's a facility in Medeng run by the Fred Olers Foundation, Medeng Modilon Hospital. Enga Hospital, I said. In Goroka, there's a Goroka Eye Clinic with Mount Zion Optical Center. In Mount Hagen, we've got a specialist eye doctor there. In Mendi, there's an eye doctor there. Ella Province, there's a doctor there with an ophthalmic nurse clinic there. Wabeg, Kundiawa, there is an eye clinic. So it's generally all over the country. There is an eye clinic in Tabubil and in Kiunga, and also in Daru Hospital. So, and Alotau, yeah, there is an eye clinic there with Poponeta. Everywhere, I think everywhere else in the country there is an eye clinic there. If they go and check at the hospitals, they should be able to get tested.
So don't confine yourself to the indoors. Get your kids off the screen into the outdoors where the real fun and adventure is. Well, we have come to the end of the show. Join us again next time for another awesome episode on House and Home. Goodbye.